Mets, Blue Jays, Cubs taking on the Dodgers. Best bets in Phillies and Rays and Padres, Mariners. That's what's coming your way here on First Pitch. I'm Dan Alexander, and joining me breaking down those aforementioned games on a Tuesday morning, I got Jesse Schule and Ross Benjamin ready to provide the winners for you great folks. And Jesse, I say we get right into it, man. Let's talk this Mets and Toronto series. Looking like we're going to have Peterson going against Bassett today as they're looking to set up for what could be a little bit of a continued playoff push here for the Mets. 79-65 is what they're sitting at now. They've won 10 of their last 11 games. They're absolutely rolling. Do they continue that roll against the lowly Blue Jays here today? What say you?
Well, Dan, yeah, they won 10 of their last 11, but not a lot of room for error. They only hold on to the final wild card spot. You hearing me loud and clear, Dan?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, no, just one game up on the Braves for that last wild card spot. Toronto, on the other hand, going through the motions. They've had their ups and downs in the second half, flashes of brilliance, but they've lost 6 of their last 7. And now Vladdy Guerrero, who was really lighting it up in the second half, he's a little bit banged up, listed as day-to-day. We're not sure if he's going to be in the lineup or not today. But the matchup of the starting pitchers is what I'm going to focus in on. And you got David Peterson, who is 9-1, with a 2.75 ERA and a 1.31 whip on the season. The Mets have won 14 of his 17 starts, but he's been even better in recent starts, going 3-0 with a 1.60 ERA in his last 5. Pretty cheap price to back the Mets here, even though they're on the road in Toronto. Bassett, he's 0-3 with a 6 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's still got another year on his contract. I don't see any reason for him to put too much stress on that arm of his when he's got next year to look forward to. So I'm taking the road favorite with the Mets.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. And, we talk all the time, a lot of time when teams are in, must-win mode. It doesn't always mean will win. Well, outside of that little blip at the end of their previous series, it has been will wins here as they keep jockeying for position with the Braves. That's the Mets on the money line, kicking it off for us here. Ross Benjamin also with us. Ross, I know you're loving that baseball, one of your most profitable sports, is overlapping with football, one of your most profitable sports. So this is really Ross Benjamin's time of year, as it is for so many sports bettors as far as what we're looking forward to. Let's talk this late night special before we go around the horn, answer some of these questions. Dodgers and Cubs. Worked out yesterday for the Cubs, man. 10-4 was the final there. Now it looks like we're going to have Yamamoto going against Imanaga. So interesting pitching matchup for sure. But it was the hitters that were the star yesterday. What do you think that continues here, Ross? You looking at anything full game, or are you looking to maybe chop this one in half and isolate those starting pitchers a bit?
Yeah, I'm going to shorten the game and isolate the starting pitchers, Dan. Yamamoto, this will be his first start since June the 15th. He's been on the DL. He did make 2 rehab starts at Oklahoma City. Didn't fare very well in those 2 rehab starts. A 6.75 ERA in just 4 innings pitched. And also, he's been excellent in 14 starts this year, which is considered his rookie year, even though he's up there in age because he came over from Asia. And but with this long layoff and the shaky starts in rehab at AAA, I'm not real confident with Yamamoto in this spot. Shohei Amana, last 3 starts, a 2.25 ERA, an 0.65 WHIP, and 6.7 innings pitched per start, folks. That qualifies as excellent form. He's made 1 start versus the Dodgers this year. That came way back on April the 7th. He pitched 4 innings of scoreless baseball, and the Cubs are 20-6 with Amana on the mound this year, and that also includes 9-3 on the road in games that he's started. The Cubs coming off a 10-4 win, as Dan alluded to last night at Dodger Stadium, and they've now scored 6 runs or more in 9 of their last 15 games. Here's the only caveat that shy away from using the full game on this one, is the Cubs bullpen has been really shaky of late, and I'm going to eliminate them out of the equation. I like the starting pitching edge with the guy who's in good form, recent good form, that is, against the guy who's had a almost 2-month layoff and just 2 rehab starts that included just 4 innings of work. So I'm going with the Cubs in the first 5 on the run line, plus a half a run at money line odds of -110 over the Dodgers.
Only paying the customary 110, looking for them to continue on that hot start in this series. That's Ross Benjamin. WT.buzz/RB is when you can, or where you can find him. We got best bets coming up here. Going to talk Phillies and Rays. So no, I'm not going to be the one bringing up the Phillies game for once. I'm sure folks will be happy about that. Padres Mariners, best bet coming up, a first 5 play in that just a little bit later. We got some questions coming in here that we'll touch upon. But first, I just want to let you know we're trying out something new here over at WagerTalk for one of the best betting parts of the year, and that's the $5 Tuesday. That's right. Every Tuesday, you see these guys on our shows. You see their single videos. If you never bought from them or tried them out before, getting the premium service that they offer with write-ups, in-depth analysis on their favorite plays of the day. They give them for free on the channel, and for that, we ask you to hit that like button and subscribe. But if you want to thank these guys and have it only cost you a little Lincoln, $5 Tuesday, each and every Tuesday, $5 best bets from all handicappers at the sites. You never tried these guys out before? WT.buzz/RB, WT.buzz/JS. $5 can get you a play rocking and rolling. Starts this Tuesday, but it rolls on every Tuesday here. So our thanks to you for tuning in, checking out the shows, and checking out these handicappers as well. Guys, I don't know if it's Titan CT, if he's a big animal lover or what, but I know he loves himself some ugly dogs because he's dropping all kinds of plus money in the chat right now. Jesse, one of the games he's bringing up is liking maybe the Rockies on the road against the Tigers. Talk about an ugly dog in that one. 640 to start. It's nice plus money on the Rockies. Titan CT says that might be where his money is. Would you agree, or is that a little too ugly for you?
Well, I was looking at the pitching matchup there, and it looks like Blaylock. It makes me think of Mookie Blaylock, the NBA player. But not the most marquee pitching matchup. Not a lot of data to go on with both these pitchers. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you look at the price. There's only one way you can go with this. I certainly wouldn't be backing Detroit as the heavy favorite here, but this game really just doesn't look that appealing to me based on the lack of data on both these pitchers.
Yeah, and it's not like, again, like you're looking at the lack of the data, but it's also like neither of these teams have major buy signs. It's not like neither of these teams are really pushing for anything, especially in the case of the dog that we're barking there. But yeah, as far as pricing goes, no, I'm not laying almost $2 with the Tigers. That's for damn sure, Titan CT. So keep it coming. Let us know which games you'd like to hear about. Let us know what your best bets are. These gentlemen are going to have theirs coming your way in just a moment here. But yesterday, Ross, it worked out for any would-be Skeens backers. It was tight. Don't get me wrong. It was a one-run win for Pirates backers yesterday. They're looking to run it back. Now, the early season angle of fading the Pirates off of Skeens' start, back in, saying, all the excitement, the fact that they're pumped up, everyone's watching them. It's kind of petered off the second half of the season as the Pirates have as well. But I'm wondering in game 2 here, Marlins and Pirates, any letdown spot for you? Because the market's saying, hey, Pirates still a worthy favorite at home. Could this be a dog that you're looking towards in the case of the Marlins? Or is this another case of, two dead teams? I'm going to put my money elsewhere. What say you, Ross?
Yeah, this is not a game that I'm going to bet my hard-earned money on. And I'm certainly not going to advise anybody out there to do so as well. I mean, this is September baseball. Teams that are out of the pennant race, playing for nothing. A lot of younger players that have been brought up from AAA. You don't know how they're going to fare in these types of environments. There's better games on the board today to bet on, folks. This is not one I would entertain even having a flash of interest in betting on.
Yeah, and that's actually, Ross, well, I'll throw right back to you, your New York Yankees, because this is an interesting game with all kinds of playoff implications around it. Yankees looking to make it 2 straight here against the Royals. They're sitting at 83 and 61. Royals, they're still bouncing around that twilight of looking for a wild card spot, sitting there at 79 and 66. Like with New York, it's been 3 out of their last 4. So now they're a full game and a half above the Baltimore Orioles, sitting there in the AL East. But they can't let up, because now they're going to be seeing Lugo up on the bump today. So for one game that I don't think anyone's going to put on their TV, not even Pirates fans, to a game that everyone's probably going to have some interest in, especially when you're checking out the AL and NL playoffs. Kansas City and the Yankees. Anything interest you in that one, Ross?
Well, the starting pitching matchup is sort of interesting because Lugo, an all-star this year, but his second half has left a lot to be desired, Dan. And Kansas City's actually getting the money here right now. And Stroman, he makes, as a Yankee fan, he makes you pull your hair out because he's on again, off again, on again, off again. And when he's on, he's real good. I would lean more toward the total in this game at 8.5 and take a little shot at going over the total of 8.5 because, again, Lugo, not a strong second half. Stroman, very inconsistent. And both teams can hit. And the Yankees with their power, the Kansas City Royals, one of the best teams in terms of team batting average and OBP on the year. So I'd go over 8.5 as a very, very small lean in that matchup.
Yeah. So Kansas City Royals, maybe a bit of a lean towards seeing some runs in that one. Jesse, anything stand out to you as far as the side is concerned in that one? If not, would love to hear your thoughts on the other team that's jockeying for position there in the AL East, and that's the Orioles as they continue their series against the Red Sox. Crawford and Suarez in that one. So any opinion sides for Yankees, Royals, and then let us know what you think about the O's and Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like betting on the Royals on the road. They're a far better team at home.
Fair.
But Marcus Stroman, 9 hits in each of his last 2 starts. Even as Ross said, he's a hot and cold kind of guy. But even when he's at his best, he seems to just narrowly avoid disaster. He's a guy that's always getting himself in trouble, even in his good games. So I wouldn't want to back the Yankees today. If anything, I'd look at the dog. Maybe Kansas City on the run line might be an interesting bet to me. But yeah, that's if I was looking. I did like Ross's take on the total as well, especially with the weather in New York today. I could see some runs being scored here.
So how about O's and Red Sox as far as that one is concerned? Because, I agree with you. I think the price is at least enticing, but Royals going on the road, not something that I'm interested in full support of. But as far as O's and Red Sox, I mean, I'm sure the O's would love to see a little bit of an upset going there at Yankees Stadium over in the Bronx, as they are in another ballpark, Fenway, taking on the Red Sox. Anything for you in that one, O's and Red Sox?
So I gave out the Red Sox on WagerTalk yesterday, and Teddy, as he likes to do, says to me, "Are you concerned that the Red Sox have been struggling in the second half of the season?" And I pointed out that if you look at their last 25 games, I believe the Red Sox and the Orioles records are identical. So with the Red Sox being at home, with Crawford having better numbers than Suarez, with the Red Sox being better at the plate lately and coming off that win yesterday, I would lean towards Red Sox at that price. Suarez, his overall numbers not great. He's actually been decent in his last few starts. Crawford also he's not been getting the wins, but he's been giving up very, very little in his last 5 starts, I believe, and he's got a really impressive whip on the season. So yeah, definitely a lean on the Red Sox for me.
We do have best bets coming up. Padres, Mariners coming your way, and the Phillies taking on the Rays. Those are two best bets we're going to be breaking down right here for you on the show. While you're hanging out with us, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and that little bell will get you notified when we go live here. If you're joining us on TikTok, Instagram, X, that follow button goes a long way. And in case you're just joining us, also shared with you that we got the $5 Tuesday promotion that we will be rolling each and every Tuesday. So if you never tried out WagerTalk before, bought from any of these handicappers, a Lincoln gets it done, and you can grab as many cappers as you'd like each and every Tuesday. Just $5 gets you their best bet. All right, let's talk just a few more games here before we're going to have best bets coming your way. Another game with playoff implications will be, that Padres and Mariners game that we have coming up in best bets. But one that stood out on the board to me, Ross, is this Brewers and Giants game. Birdsong and Savali is who you're going to be getting in this series opener. And really, this is a potential NL lead that is sitting out there for the Brewers here. So I'm wondering, as far as this thing kicks off for you, a series that I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes on, 9:45 going to be the start in this one. Is there anything at least actionable to push you towards a wager or a lean as they kick this one off in San Francisco?
Yeah, not to sound like indecisiveness is part of the equation today, but
Savali
has been scratched. I'm looking at the board right now over at WagerTalk, and San Francisco has that undecided listed as their starting pitcher, which means that they're either going to go bullpen by committee or we're going to see a young kid up from AAA that probably is going to be on a pitch count. I'm sorry, not Savali. The Birdsong from San Francisco has been scratched, excuse me. So in that case, I mean, if I had a small lean here, it would be on the Brewers with Savali because, again, San Francisco is not a good hitting ball club. Milwaukee is, and Savali he's a, you could win with Aaron Savali in your rotation. And the Brewers think so. They made the trade for him early on. And I was very, very small lean, Dan, here on the Brewers at the reasonable price of -130.
Jesse, anything for you in that 9:45 start? If not, we had Nick in the chat saying, hey, I hit some nice plus money on the Reds yesterday. They're sitting with some nice plus money as well today as they're taking on the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. The only thing that kind of throws a little fly in that ointment is the unknown of the starting pitcher that it looks like will be probable for Cincinnati. It looks like it's going to be louder against Palante in that one. So feel free to give any end cap on Brewers Giants, but if you don't have anything there, could Nick be getting some plus money again here on the 5 games under 500 Reds?
Yeah, no opinion on the San Francisco game with Birdsong being scratched. No wonder they scratched him. He has not been performing very well. And this Reds game, louder and Palante, geez, maybe look at the total. Palante is not very inspiring. The price kind of says it all. You stumped me on this one, man. Over, maybe. Over.
Yeah, no, it's fair. And again, it goes to show you too the different handicapping styles that some of the guys have here. One of the things that Jesse looks towards right away, and that's why maybe a lot of the times you end up with some first 5 wagers, some team totals as well, is because if he doesn't have data on a starting pitcher, he doesn't want to bet the baseball game. And there's nothing wrong with that. You find your approach that works for you. It's how these guys cash for their clients week after week and throughout different seasons of the sports. Find what works for you, folks. Don't try and be an expert across the entire board. ISO down on things that you know, the things that you can really handicap and feel strong about heading into a game. And that's the way to continue to build a bankroll instead of just spraying the board because you got games to play. The odds makers got to put up the odds. We as bettors don't have to bet them. And that's one of the best tips we can probably give you here. We can give you some tips on some best bets, though, as well. Let's get to them, guys. And Ross, we'll start with you. Tell the folks what you have over at your page, $5 Tuesday. I know you guys are pumped up for this, getting some potential new clients who haven't tried you before. It's a great time to buy right now, and $5 can get you a little bit of a try. So, Ross, What do you got locked and loaded over at your page, wt.buzz/RB? And how the heck are we betting this Padres and Mariners game for a free best bet for the folks?
$5 play on the Phillies Rays game tonight. Also got another pick in Major League Baseball as well. Folks, keep an eye on my 5% top plays. Cashed another one on Sunday in the NFL. 25-10 with my 5% top plays, or best bets, I should say, since February the 4th of this year. And Dan, by our grading system, that's made clients $7,000 over that course of time. Also, I like my totals, Dan, and up $6,378 on all sports totals since August 4th of last year. So a couple good things to keep an eye on there. And my college football, off to a slow start, but since last year, around 58% since September 9th of last year. NFL, college football combined, number 2 last year at WagerTalk in terms of money earned, and the NFL started off week 1 with a
Lost Ross there for a second. There we go. We got you back here, Ross. We lost you there for a second, brother, but we got you. We got you.
Yeah, okay. Just was finalizing by saying my NFL went 3-2 in week 1, and the 2 losses came by exactly a half a point. So a fine line between 5-0 and 3-2, Dan. Anyway,
very true.
But the Padres and the Seattle Mariners. Right now, it'll be Yu Darvish scheduled to start for the Padres. It'll be George Kirby going for the Seattle Mariners. The Padres right now, $1.15 favorite. The total is 7. Like my earlier matchup, though, I am going to eliminate the bullpens out of this equation, shorten the game, and concentrate on the starting pitchers here. On paper, Dan, this looks like a great starting pitching matchup. Darvish against Kirby, especially the way Kirby has fared at home this year. However, looking inside the numbers will tell you something drastically different. First of all, like Yamamoto that I discussed of the Dodgers earlier, Yu Darvish has only made 1 start over the last 4 months since returning from the DL. That came on September 4th. He lasted 2 2/3 innings in that start and allowed 3 earned runs on 4 hits while walking 2 and giving up a home run as well. So not very encouraging after coming off that long stint on the DL. As a matter of fact, going back before he went on the DL, his last 3 starts overall, all 3 of them have gone over the total with a 9.52 ERA and a 2.03 whip while doing so. The Padres this year, when you give them a number of 7 or less, they've gone 11-2 to the over on the year. And as a matter of fact, in their last 4, when the total's been 7.5 or less, they've gone 4-0 over the total. The Padres on the road this year, averaging 5.1 runs per game, a 278 team batting average, a 330 OBP, and those are all very impressive offensive numbers. Now, Seattle has played big time to the under this year at home, 42-23-4 to the under, and that's why this total is so low. But over their last 7 games, they've averaged 6.3 runs per game and have a on-base percentage, team on-base percentage, that is, of 341. I mentioned George Kirby. His numbers have been very good at home. However, his last 2 at home against San Francisco and Detroit were the polar opposite of very good, because he gave up 6 earned runs over 9 2/3 innings pitched, 16 hits in those 9 2/3 innings, including 2 home runs. Kirby actually, over his last 5 starts overall, all 5 starts have gone over the total with a 6.48 ERA and 1.64 whip. And get this, 7 home runs allowed over his last 5 starts and only 25 innings pitched. I'm eliminating the bullpens for an opposite reason as I did the first time around. Both of these bullpens have been excellent over the last 2 weeks. I'm going to base this on the starting pitchers and all the data that I just recited to you. I'm going to go San Diego, Seattle, over 3.5 as a first 5-inning bet.
If runs are coming in Padres, Mariners, they're coming early, says our man Ross Benjamin. Over in the first 5. Number sitting around 3.5. The free best bet for him. You can grab the best bet in the Phillies and Rays game over at his page, wt.buzz/RB, just $5. I wonder if that play, however, will line up with our man Jesse Schule. He's also got a best bet locked and loaded over at his page. Tell the folks about that one that they can grab for just $5. And then look at this. We made it till the end of the show until I brought up the Phillies, and it's because my man Jesse has a best bet for you. The Phils bounced back after losing 2 out of 4 against the Marlins there. Now they're taking on another fish team, and they picked up the first win. Do they continue it here tonight, Jesse? Let us know how you're betting this game, and let clients know what they can find over at your page.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the team total here for Philly. We got a low number here as far as the total. I look at the weather report. It says a light breeze blowing in. Might reduce home run chances, but 6 miles per hour breeze blowing in, I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect. The temperature still seems pretty warm air here tonight. And Taj Bradley will go for the Rays, and he's got nice overall numbers. I think Taj Bradley is a pretty good pitcher, but as I say, some of these guys at this time of the year, if your team's not in it, there's no reason for you to crank it up and throw at peak velocity and put too much mileage on that arm. And Bradley has been pretty brutal. The Rays have lost 6 of his last 7 starts. He's 0-4 with a 9.12 ERA in his last 5 starts. He's given up 8 home runs in those games. And he's facing a Phillies team that's 4th in scoring over the last 30 days. They're averaging 5 runs per game. I know the Phillies have a few injuries, but they continue to put runs on the board here. And Ranger Suarez gets the start for the Phillies. You know, back in June, people were convinced that Suarez was going to win the Cy Young this year. I think he might have been the first guy in the majors to win 10 games. He's only won 2 since early June, and but he's been pitching quite well lately. So if you like the Phillies, I don't mind the Phillies either. The price was a little bit lower earlier today, but my best bet for this game is going to be the Phillies team total over 3.5. It's a little bit juiced. It's 145, but that's just the way it's going to be. I think they'll get there against this struggling Tampa pitcher. And as far as the best thing to get on my page today, yeah, the $5 pick, absolutely grab that. But the best thing is we got a 7-day all-access package. Both myself and Ross, 2 cappers for the price of 1. Ross already told you how well he did this weekend. I was 7-2 with my football picks over the weekend, or with all my picks over the weekend. There was a couple baseball winners in there. I've actually been doing pretty good with baseball. I think over the last 30 days at WagerTalk, number 2 on the leaderboards, just behind Steve Merrill. I think he's got a pretty healthy lead on me, though. But I'm happy to be up there on those leaderboards with all the great talent we have at WagerTalk.
Yeah, and iron sharpening iron. Everyone wants to be at the top of that leaderboard. That is for damn sure. That's Jesse Schule. It's on the screen, WT.buzz/JS. Big shout out to those of you joining us live here on YouTube. And if you are, hit that like button, subscribe as well. I see some likes rolling in as well over on TikTok. We appreciate you. Sin City Chaos, Johnington, Mikey Chovanak chiming in as well. B. Bell. Hope you guys all cash, and we see you there at the at the cage collecting our winnings. That is for sure. Hit that follow button. We appreciate you. Also, shout out to JV over on Instagram. That's right. I named all these other sites. You can find us anywhere you want us at WagerTalk, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok. We appreciate you tuning in. We love interacting with you. So keep on coming back. 11 a.m. Eastern is when we kick this show off live. First pitch. We'll be joining you through the regular season, just exactly 30 minutes from now. Wager Talk today coming your way. You got a double play of Ross Benjamin. He's going to be there joining Steve Merrill, Andrew McGinnis, Ralph Michaels, getting you actionable info across sports. Ross going to be talking some NFL. We got some best bets coming in Notre Dame and Purdue. So make sure you stick around, folks. 30 minutes from live, we'll be rocking with your questions again live here on Wager Talk TV. For Jesse Schule, for Ross Benjamin, I'm Dan Alexander. Big thanks for tuning in, folks. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, best of luck. Cash those tickets. See you back here for First Pitch.